what I've got now is 9 dots on each side of this box. The 9 dots are important because I need a center dot here. I'm going to do dagger strokes. Now, for those of you that are wondering what a dagger stroke is, a dagger stroke, sometimes we refer to them as rat tails. It all is a varied line. We start out with a thick line that goes very thin. And it's like a dot, but reversed. Because a dot, you want to make sure all 3 variables, your trigger, your distance, and your speed is all the same to create the same size dot. But with the dagger stroke, we're literally taking all 3 variables and we're combining them. We're changing it. It'd be like the difference between me holding 3 balls and me juggling 3 balls. And what we're doing here is we're juggling all 3 of the balls. We did the dot, we did the line, and that's like throwing 1 ball in the air, big freaking deal. It's not juggling. Now we're gonna actually start juggling, because to do the dagger stroke, and I'll show a dagger stroke right here on the side, you start from a distance with the trigger pulled fairly out like a big dot, and then as you finish it, you get closer to the surface, you push the trigger forward, and you speed up. So it can be something as simple as that, it can be a wavy one, you know, a spiral. Either way, a dagger stroke is pretty much a varied line. Now, it is the most important technique known to airbrushing. And I'm gonna do a little quick demo after I do this dagger stroke box to show what I'm talking about. But for right now, this is an excellent exercise to be good at dagger strokes in all. We're not gonna go diagonal, we're just gonna do 4 major directions. The corner of this box we're gonna refer to as the world's shortest dagger stroke. It is a dot, that's about it. I'll come into the second one, I'm gonna do a short dagger stroke, a little longer than I wanted, and longer, longer, and then longest in the middle, and then short, short, shorter. I'm gonna take the air cap off of this because I'm getting a lot of tip dry. So I'm gonna clean this off a little bit. It's easier for me to access. And then down here, I'm gonna just do a little short dagger stroke, longer, longer, longest, another one, another one, another one. And the key is speed. Now, speed is not just so you can get it done fast and out the door so your boss is happy. Speed, in this case, gives you continuity. It gives you the ability of creating a straight line easier. I'm going to come in between these dagger strokes and do another setup. Now, my DVD that comes with that magic box of tricks, as well as my Automotive airbrushing DVD that's out there, is a number of my book, the Cheap Tricks and Special Effects 2 book. These all have these exercises in them. The reason is, still I come across people that don't have basic exercises that work. I see them saying, well, I do like 5 pages of dagger strokes every day. I'm like, God, I'd hate that too. When you're done, you should have an X in the middle of this. If you don't have an X, any other letter of the alphabet, you're wrong. That's not the way it works. The thing with doing dagger strokes is you'll apply the use of those more than you will pinstriping. I'm not pinstriping, but line work or dots or even fades. There's more dagger strokes out there than anything. A lot of people hate working with them. They're like, oh, I wish I had a stencil for doing dagger strokes. That's just silly. It's a basic technique, whether it be in calligraphied lettering or it be in like the eyelashes on an eye or hair or a fade or clouds. Dagger strokes, they're a necessity. You have to learn to at least work with them a little bit. And these techniques, like I said, these basics I showed you, these 2 exercises, that's it. We're done with our basic techniques. I'm not going to show you any more exercises. You do page after page after page, you just wasted a lot of pages. You really need to focus on just these 2 elements, and that's about it. You might contour them and change them like I did. I'm not going to say that my design is the penultimate, intro to airbrushing. I developed these 2 exercises from literally 30 years of watching, learning, listening to, sneaking in, or just overhearing techniques by artists, not just in California, not just the United States, but all over the world. And I fine-tuned a couple I think were unnecessary, or I want to just tune it down a little bit. And tie it in with something that's much simpler. I hate that by rote thing, just shut up and do exercises, just do a bunch of lines. You do this and it combines 2 things in one. You get your basic breakdown of your basics for good exercises, and you get a warm up. Because you can't just start airbrushing cold turkey. You do, you're gonna make mistakes. Your airbrush isn't dialed in, you're not dialed in, paint's not reduced right. This is a good opportunity every time you airbrush to start to do it this way. And if you want at the end of the day, do this as well. I had a student that's like, oh, I did that 30 times in one day. I'm like, I told you only do it like twice a day. Oh, I didn't paint for 2 weeks. Well, it doesn't count. It's like working out. You don't go and work out like the same as the amount of workouts for 5 days if you haven't been in 5 days. That's what we usually do when we hurt ourselves. Just do it as often as possible. If you're going to airbrush for 10 minutes one day, then take an extra 10 minutes and do this, and then do your 10 minutes of airbrushing. it makes a big difference. It's about getting used to something. The best way I can describe it is when the first time you drove a car. You had your hands on the steering wheel and you're like, ooh, and your friend's talking, shut up, I'm driving. And then 2 weeks later, you got the stereo cranked, your arm's out the window, one arm driving, you're fine. And it comes down to when you're comfortable with something and you're relaxed, you'll do better at it.